There are quite a few video game genres that have disappeared over the years, but the one I've been thinking about the most lately is the light gun game. Not only have people stopped making them, but the old ones have become increasingly difficult to play thanks to the fact they will not work on modern flat-screen TVs. But there was once a light gun game that eliminated the whole light gun part. The game I'm looking at today, Typing of the Dead. At its most basic level, this is just a port of the arcade game House of the Dead 2, well known for its incredibly nonsensical plot and wonderfully terrible voice acting.
The enemy. James, take this.
Thankfully, Typing of the Dead keeps those much-loved elements intact, but instead of shooting the game's countless enemies with a light-emitting toy gun, you type them to death. The game starts off by having you type short and simple words that are easy enough, but as you make your way through the levels, the words become more uncommon, and they begin to be strung together in phrases and even full sentences. In other words, this game gets hard. Even if you're a skilled typist, you'll likely find yourself tripping over some of the more bizarre words that the developers managed to pull from the darkest corners of the dictionary. But the most interesting thing that the developers did in the name of this keyboard-centric conversion are the bosses. The first boss you fight is simple enough. It's just more of the same kind of typing you've been doing with regular enemies for the entire game up to that point. But as the game goes on, the mechanics get more and more interesting. Perhaps my favorite is a Hydra-esque creature called Tower. Instead of just typing whatever appears on the screen to win, here you have to read the question the game presents you with, choose the appropriate answer, and type that out. Now, without those occasional odd mechanics, the game would be kinda dull. You do just kinda type increasingly difficult words for the entirety. Granted, you could make that exact same complaint about the light gun game Typing of the Dead is derived from, but that repetition is still the game's biggest weakness, no matter the format. However, for a full playthrough of all the game's levels, assuming you don't fail too often, it only takes about an hour. On the one hand, that means there's not really a ton of stuff to do here, but on the other hand, I think if it had been longer, the game would have overstayed its welcome. You could play it again and again in order to get a higher score, or even play it multiplayer with 2 keyboards or over a LAN. This was still designed as an arcade game, so it doesn't really have replay value in the traditional sense of the term. For me personally, the insanely incomprehensible plot and awful performances make this game a must-have in my collection. It's enormously fun to pull out at parties, and I think it manages to evoke that light gun charm without requiring you to have a CRT TV laying around. As far as picking this game up, it's kind of a weird one. There are 2 versions of this game on the market, one for the Dreamcast and one for the PC. I am happy to report that the PC version works on modern computers with absolutely no issues. It doesn't even require any weird tweaks. However, it does not properly support 2-player play as far as I can figure out, as far as plugging in 2 keyboards into the same computer because of the way Windows works. So, multiplayer is only possible on the PC version over a network. On the other hand, the Dreamcast version will easily handle 2-player with 2 keyboards plugged in, but in addition to needing a copy of the game, which is somewhat rare in its NTSC form, you'll need to pick up 2 keyboards as well. So if you want to check this one out, you're going to have to choose between high cost, in the case of the Dreamcast version, and a sort of crippled multiplayer experience on the PC. Every Monday I look at a game that's at least 10 years old, what I would consider to be retro, and I look at the experience of playing it today and see if it's still worth playing. If you like that idea and want to see the latest videos, be sure to subscribe. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.